Today we are going to talk about scouting for new locations and why it's important. And today I'm riding around with my friend Imre. You can check out his Instagram link down below somewhere, and then let's go. As Imre is taking some stuff from the car, we are today at Lahemaa National Park, and this place is called Beaver Trail, and there's a really nice stream and some ferns growing out of it and stuff like that, so let's just explore. As mentioned before, we are scouting today, and we are at Lahemaa National Park in Estonia. So we are trying to find some cool new locations for maybe to get some shots today or another time. But while scouting, we have our gear with us, but we are not here at golden hour. We are not here in the early mornings or late evenings. We are just here to find cool places and memorize them from the next time we are here. So it's at the moment, it's about 5 o'clock, so it's almost 6 hours until the sunset, and we're just looking for places, taking photographies with our phones, just to see how the composition would work, and if we find something really cool, we'll try to take a real photo of it. But if not, we just go to our next place and go to the next place and so on. Location, location, location. It's a really famous sentence, but it's doubly important for landscape photography, because location and timing is everything. The reason why you want to scout for locations during the day is simply because you can see and memorize the locations and the possible images that you want later on. If you don't do that and go to a new location, it really often happens that you go to a location, you have just let's say 30 minutes until the sun is setting or sun is rising. You don't know the place, you don't know where to go, where are the best possible compositions and interesting foreground and background objects and so on. So it's just not a pleasant feeling, and if you do your work, come here a day before, half a year before, doesn't really matter, and you come to this place, then you know where to go, what to shoot, and what you can expect of it. So you don't have any, let's say, bad surprises. The biggest difference between just going out and shooting and scouting for different locations that you have never been before is the time you need to invest in it. Because usually when I go out and my friends go out, it's I'm guessing about 3-4 hours. You drive to the location, if we're just going near the capital or near our home. And you go there, you look for the best compositions of this evening, depending on the clouds, the sun, whatever. And then you set up, then you shoot, and then you go home, and it's usually about 4 hours. When you come out scouting, we usually take the whole day. We leave, I'm guessing, at lunchtime, and we're gonna get back home when the sun has already set. So it's a lot more time invested, but in the long run it pays off because you get a lot more images than the people that don't do this. As I lost Imre somewhere in the woods, I'm gonna give you some tips what to do when you're scouting or just walking your dog or running in the woods or whatever actually. Firstly, use your phone for scouting, because you have your phone with you like 24/7, at least most of us do these days. And if you see a nice composition, interesting objects, anything, just take it out and make a picture. Put it into your favorites or somewhere that you can find it, and tag the location on your Google Maps. So the next time you're in the area and you have your gear with you, you know where to go and what to look for. And the biggest tip of scouting when you're actually scouting, not just running around and stumbling onto good compositions and stuff you can see from the road, is to go off the beaten path and just explore. Go walk in the woods. You know, you never know what you can find, and usually you can find something original and something that has not been photographed yet. Do that like 100%. Because otherwise you will have the same images that everyone else will have of that place. So so anyways, if you're stupid enough to come to a woodlands without any bug spray, then you're as stupid as we are at the moment. So at the location we are at this moment, the big leaves of the ferns are opened up and they give a really nice green cast to everything. And then it's just absolutely beautiful during the spring, because in like 2, 3, 4 weeks everything will be a bit more brown, a bit more less color, and then at the moment it's just perfect. And I decided to stop for a half an hour and try to get this composition and this image. So I'm gonna talk a bit about the composition I found here and why it works, and what's the idea and the story behind it. The first image I found today is a really simple composition, a really simple picture in that sense. It's basically just layering the foreground, interest, middle ground and the background. The element is this big fern here, which is fully open at the moment. The middle ground is the flowing water, and the background interest is the big tree leading the eyes up, and the ferns leading the eyes actually through the picture. So I think it works, and it's simple. It's just layering the image, and then layering the image is just another way to compose an image, or how to find the composition. There are rule of thirds and Fibonacci and a lot of rules, but sometimes a simple layering just gives the image depth and feeling and life, and that usually is enough. The image I'm taking is about 3 seconds. I'm at f16, ISO is -1 at the moment on my D850, and let's shoot. And just to make it clear, the -1 ISO I meant is it's 2 steps basically under ISO 64, which is the native ISO for Nikon D850. So it reads on the screen L 1.0, so I just call it -1. Just a small thing, if you're shooting with a tripod and you want to find another composition or want to move with the tripod or something like that, just take your camera off your tripod and put it on your eye and try to find different compositions and images and foregrounds and so on. Because when you do it with a tripod, it's really cumbersome and you can't get quickly down below or up high. Just take your camera and walk around with it. If you find the image you want, just remember how high was your camera, how low was your camera, and what it was pointed on, and then take your tripod and set up. Alive?
Yeah.
Show me your hands.
It's the best day of my life.
Little buggers. Someone asked me after the first episode, am I a full-time landscape photographer now? The answer to that is hell no, but it's my dream. It has been my dream for a while, but as of this moment I'm still an event organizer and I do marketing and communication and stuff like that. So, and we found the road. Imre, where are we? Planet Earth. Okay, that's nice. And another thing about scouting is don't go for the usual... Okay, I was just informed that I have a mosquito on my forehead. Okay, let's start again. And when you're looking for compositions and images to take or memorize or map out, try to find new compositions. Don't go for the easy ones. The wide landscape with the wide lens. Try to use your telephoto for landscape images. Try to use your Nifty 50. Play with your depth of field and just experiment. So as we talked and rode around and argued where to go, we now arrived at last at Toll's castle ruins. So, and as the clock is already, it's 9 or something, and sun is setting at 10:30 about. We'll probably just do 2 locations today, because at the first place at Alta Stream I found 2 images that I like and or 2 compositions that I like and got 1 image. And from this place we'll see. We have some clouds. The weather is nice. Hopefully the golden hour will start in 30 minutes or so. And let's see what we can get from this place. And just so I don't forget, if you like the content and you like my travels and vlogs and this advice that I give with my friends, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified on new uploads. Thanks. We're just chilling and waiting for the colors to pop in the sky, and then I need to go back into the water. Yep, as I'm sitting in the freezing water, then the composition is a portrait composition, and I'm using the stones in the water as a leading line to the castle at the background with the sunset and all the colors. For this shot we are at ISO 200, the shutter speed is 1/4 of a second, the aperture is f16, I'm using a circular polarizer from Lee and also a Lee graduated ND filter to balance out the exposure. So, and this is the image. As the aquatic adventures are over now and I am starting to get feeling back to my feet, we are running to the other side of the castle and we're gonna look at some compositions and places that we found before this site where we were for the last 30 minutes or so. So as the hyperlapse is going, just wanted to make a big shout out to Imre for making some awesome b-roll for this episode. Thanks mate. And make sure to follow him on Instagram and Facebook if you like his work, so I'll put the links down into the description. The sun is setting and we are making some last images of the colors of today, and just a simple image of the reflections in the water. That's it for today, and I'll leave you with this amazing sunset. Until next time. Imre, levitä. He's shy. Bye.